Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Treya Tarot. This is the collective reading for Wednesday, December 11th, 2024. I am still shuffling and cutting the deck, so before we get started, if you like these readings and you're interested in being notified when I upload a new one, please like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell. We got some jumpers. Six of Wands. Comments would be great too if you feel so inclined. The Artist, the Seven of Wands, and the Star. Okay, so I have to cover up the Artist a little because there's some algorithm issues with that card. Okay. What's interesting about this here is that there's an implicit victory because of a sense of valiance, because of a sense of clarity and clear, passionate purpose that is informed by an expansive mind and just the kind of innocent hope that the star represents. This sort of experiential, hopeful embodiment that all things are possible. That's very interesting, and I think it's interesting because I've spent the morning listening to other readings and some astrology content, like I do pretty much every morning, most of the time. And I'm noticing that there is a sort of reconciliation happening because of this, or symbolized by the Mars retrograde and the Venus conjunct Pluto transits that we're experiencing this week, or into this week into next week, I believe. That seems to be breaking down a resistance to something repetitive that we are familiar with. I have some cat familiars here, although they're not my familiars, sharing in this experience this morning, this reading this morning. So you may hear them or see them if they walk right in front of the camera. Ooh. Yeah, here we go. 10 of Swords. Just pulled from the pile that came out. 6 of Swords. So we have these two sixes here, which definitely shows transition. And then the Queen of Swords. All right. So just like the astrology and content I've been watching this morning noted, there is definitely a feeling here of transcending an old pattern or way of thinking that directly relates to our sense of security, purpose, connection, expansiveness, art creation, artistic qualities, all of those things. And we're doing it through a willingness to show up for what we know with that Queen of Swords energy and the Star. So there's a hopefulness despite the past assumptions, despite the experiences of the past, that any conflict or any disagreement or any break in collaboration could be transcended through expansiveness, because now we have new information or new ideas to work with. I see this very much coming up in self-concept things because of those Swords cards. So it could also be that Mars retrograde energy is here to teach us that the things that we've been fighting for, their time is over, that we don't have to fight. Or rather, the time for fighting is over. Because it's not that the experiences are ending, it's that our perspective is shifting to allow for a new way of having that experience, whatever that might be for you. But that is the victory. The victory is in hearing the new ideas. Ace of Cups. 4 of Swords, the resting. And the 4 of Cups. What's interesting about that 4 of Cups is there's sort of the refusal of a divine offer because it's unrecognized. But that Ace of Cups and that Four of Swords tells me the newness of this current experience, or the newness that's coming up upon all of us, is actually in accepting the divine offer. It's in letting the fight rest. It's in seeing the other side of things. It's in offering understanding to ourselves and to others if we feel we can, in a new way, in a way that doesn't betray us, but includes other instead. Because I think that, especially in terms of the astrological alignments, there are these themes of how we exist in relationship to other people, what we're willing to put up with. Venus conjunct Pluto, it's the shadow material of the things that bring us joy. It's why are we resisting the things that we want? It's why are we continually putting barriers in front of our own way? And Mars retrograde, included in that picture, asks, why are we fighting for an old story when we say we don't want the old story anymore? What's the new way forward? And I think that divine offering that this cup is, okay, this ace right here, this divine offering is the answer. It's the thing that we can choose differently, which will put the whole old story to bed. The whole old story goes to rest there because we've chosen the new way. But we can only do that once we allow ourselves to do that. I feel like this is going to come up in a lot of relationships, especially with the Venus and Mars aspects. But I think it can also come up in the way we view ourselves, powerfully so. Do we see ourselves as lone wolves? Do we see ourselves as codependents? Are we still living in a story where we can't do something for ourselves, or where our needs aren't being met, or where we're being shorted in some way? What's the story you're telling yourself? And does it actually apply anymore? Or are you just continually telling yourself the story? Because it's safer there than it is to let go into that divine offer. Are you still telling yourself that you're one thing when you're a lot of things? Or when the picture is just a little bit more expanded than that? That artist card in the back there. That's expansiveness, that's creation, that's the ability to dream up anything. Why are you closing yourself off by only thinking you're one thing? Or only seeing one aspect of yourself as viable, or as truthful, or as true? So there's a bit of an opening here available, if we're willing to take it. That Four of Cups tells me it's a willingness thing. You have to be willing. Collaboration. You have to be willing to collaborate. You have to be willing to see your inclusion in something bigger than yourself. The card behind is the World here, and the Hierophant. The open opportunity comes from being aware of our contracts, being aware of our connective capacity, being aware that entanglement is two-sided in a lot of senses. There's the unhealthy, toxic types of entanglement, and then there's the type that the whole universe is relying upon. The way we affect each other, the way growth gets pushed forward, regardless of what we might think in the moment. How willing are we to be part of this picture instead of trying to solve it or hack it or change a fundamental part of the experience in an effort to avoid our feelings? Can we collaborate? Can we finally let people in? I see that collaboration as the change. and the release from the self-imposed idealistic prison and the anxiety. That Page of Swords. There's that new idea presenting itself again. There's that new self-concept all the way at the end of the reading. We're all changing. This month is also very much about change. Up until the middle of February, we're going to be changing a lot. Can we change? Can we change instead of assuming change and loss are synonymous? Can we change without ultimatums? Can we change without guilting ourselves? Can we do this together? Oh, kitty visitor. Hey, babe. Can we do that? I always find that when the cats come to visit right on top of the reading, that it's a blessing. Yeah. There are so many blessings, including us. So maybe if we can see ourselves that way, we can stop fighting the creation of the thing that will make us all feel much more whole. Because we are already, we just have to feel it. And maybe that's what that Page of Swords represents, is that new self-concept that we're all included, that we're part of it instead of alone in it. All right, well, I'll leave it there. I hope everyone has a good day, and I will see you soon. Okay, bye.